So here's the label, and that's the WaterSense webpage. That's actually from several months ago, so it doesn't have, it's just the top few models there. But just so folks know, can recognize these things. This is the WaterSense label that can only go on certified products, or this look for kind of symbol can be used in promotional materials associated with WaterSense. And that's the WaterSense logo that partners use on their materials. So there's two things out there, the logo and the label. That's the logo, that's the label. So our marketing folks are, and the trademark folks are very, insistent on making sure we're all using those things correctly. So showerheads, that's we're actively engaged in that now. This is a place where the model we're following here is the WaterSense team is really participating with a ASME, a CSA, Joint Harmonization Task Force for showerheads. And again, that forum I think has been a good one. There's a good rapport established within that group. There's a good cooperative spirit on getting these things sorted out. And I think that's, again, a forum that we're going to continue to try to use as we go forward with plumbing product specification development. One of the things Rob touched on, I think is a challenge in this arena, is sometimes manufacturers have certain information about methodologies or characteristics or consumer research, and there is a little bit of a tension in the system there of that is a competitive advantage for them, and that there is a proprietary nature to that information. So, how do we get that out there in this sort of public setting is it's just one of the challenges. But I think we're working through that. I think these harmonization task force is there's some trust getting built there, and I think there's a good cooperative spirit. So I'm encouraged by the progress we're making there. So where do we stand with showerheads? We're working with the task group. I think we're pretty close to having, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So what attributes are important? We're looking at pressure compensation, spray pattern distribution, force, and wetting. Those are concepts. We really started the process without really having test methods for those concepts, and a lot of work over the past a year to 6 months to a year has been to develop evaluation methods for those attributes, and I think the group is pretty close to having those methods developed. There's still going to have to be some testing done to see if the different manufacturers and different test labs can get reproducible results, but conceptually the methods are developed. Then I think the challenging part's going to be we still need to marry up those quantified parameters for force, wetting, spray pattern distribution of, all right, well, how does that translate to what consumers think about their showering experience? And Bill Gawley at Veritech is doing some testing. He's doing some consumer satisfaction studies right now in a couple of universities, and we're hopeful that the results of those studies, combined with the performance evaluation methods that are being developed in the Joint Harmonization Task Group, we can bring those two pieces together, and from that we're going to be in a position to set specifications. So making good progress, still some challenging work to do, but I'm hopeful that we'll have a draft showerhead specification in the early part of next year. Irrigation controllers has been another sort of a file we've had open for a while in terms of getting a draft specification out. We started working on this in April of last year. And what performance attributes are important? We're really looking at irrigation adequacy and irrigation excess, and those are some terms of art defined by the SWAP protocol. Again, all these spec development efforts, we really want to partner up with the industry. We don't want to be out there inventing test methods. I don't think that's necessarily going to be a successful way to go about it. We want to build on the good work the industry has already been doing to develop specifications. In terms of where that's been at from a technical challenge is a lot of the work for irrigation controllers has taken place at the Center for Irrigation Technology in Fresno, California. And some of the concern was, well, what performs well in Central Valley of California may not perform well in Florida or someplace else where it gets the rain is a lot different pattern of falling. And that's our testing has been focused on trying to resolve that question. I sort of illustrate this with these charts. This pink lines are what the water demand on the landscape is, and the blue line is the rain that actually falls. And you can see here, Central Florida is a lot different pattern than Central California. So we want a product, again, program is national in scope. We want a product that's going to perform well in both. And I think we're getting close to having that figured out, and should have a spec available the early part of next year. So to wrap things up and maybe leave a minute for questions, product performance is vital for WaterSense brand integrity. We've really been striving to achieve that with the launch of the brand. We need to have defined test protocols and associated performance in order to develop specifications. That's really the raw material that we need to develop specs. Involve stakeholders is vital to achieving that input. And ultimately, the WaterSense label will help consumers identify products that perform well and save water.